Coming up on today's Locked On Senators. All right, now Jake Sanderson. What a year for the 20-year-old Montana native. The first player to play in the NHL, born and raised in Montana. And my God, it's going to be big shoes to fill for the second guy, because what a debut for Jake Sanderson. His rookie season saw him play 77 out of the 82 games. He had 4 goals, 28 assists, good for 32 points, second most among rookie defensemen, an expected goals percentage of 50.6, a Corsi percentage of 51.7. And Pilsy, this is the number that jumps off the page. Played 21.55 per game, more and more and more as the season developed. That's what impressed me the most, is as other guys were going out of the lineup, we saw Shabbat, then Chikrin, Zub's in and out. He's playing as the number 1 defenseman on a National Hockey League team at age 20, and he made it look so easy.
Yeah, he made it look very easy. And Ross, I can't believe how low this fan grade percentage is for an A rating. 87.1%. What I would love to hear people's arguments for why he doesn't deserve an A. He's an A in my book, maybe even an A plus, honestly. Like, this guy was truly incredible. And Ross, he had to take over as a number 1 guy because Shabbat and Chikrin were hurt at the end of the year, and he had a lot of responsibility in this franchise's, it's sad to say, but that stretch at the end of this year was the franchise's most important stretch in the last 6 years. And he was relied upon as the number 1 guy in that stretch of the last 10 games, Ross. He averaged 26 minutes and 22 seconds of ice time. He took over the spot as the number 1 guy on the power play. He was up against all other teams' top matchups. Like, it's insane what this kid was able to do. So we knew he was going to be good. We knew he was going to be great even, but I didn't think he was going to be able to pull that off this quickly.
Amazing. And Pilsy, so funny. Tychos, shout out to Tychos on Twitter. Great reply. 1 vote, I want to say, because it's 0.1% voted D for his grade, A, B, C, D. And they said that D has to be for defense.
Gotta be. Yep, that's it.
Because, my God, what a season for Jake Sanderson. Just go to the stats page on NHL.com and pull up defenseman or rookie defenseman, and it's literally him and Owen Power. Now, if you even want to expand it further, you can just look at all rookies, defenseman, forward, doesn't matter. He's right up there in the mix. Like, he was still, and you talk, he's tied for 10th in points, and everyone's looking at, oh, JJ Peterka, this offensive weapon that the Buffalo Sabres got. Man, I wish Ottawa had JJ Peterka. Jake Sanderson had the same amount of points as him this year. So you're looking at a guy who offensively isn't even scratching the surface of what he's going to be. Even when he was drafted, all the scouts, even the ones that were high on him, were like, hey, even if he's a 30 to 40 point defenseman, he will bring so much value. I wouldn't put past him to be a 60-point guy, the way that this guy is playing. And we know that, like, points and scoring is going up. It's not the 60-point defenseman back when Carl was barely sniffing 70 and that sort of thing. But my God, the way that he controls the poise and play of the game in his own zone. And there was one defensive metric, Pilsy, that you said he's head and shoulders above everyone else. And I think this is going to be eye-opening for people.
Yeah, it's not what I thought it would be, Ross, but it's block shots. Jake Sanderson, rather. He is an absolute dog out there blocking shots. He had 147 block shots. Among rookies, the next closest was Jordan Harris with 98. And if you're just looking at the Ottawa Senators, he was a leader on the Sens as well. So Jake Sanderson, this guy gets it done in all aspects of the game.
Pilsy, I'll take you a step further on that as well. This guy was in the top 25 in the National Hockey League in block shots.
Yeah, incredible.
Forget defensemen. This guy's out there just absolutely helping his team do whatever it takes to get wins. And that's where the Senators, I think, have done such a good job drafting. They're not only drafting good hockey players, but DJ Smith alluded to this in his post-season press conference, where it's like, this guy just lives, eats, breathes hockey. Same with Tim Stutz. Like Timmy could score 4 goals in a game and they'd lose 5-4 and he'd be like, I played like shit. I played
He did
awful.
that. He had a hat trick up against Seattle, and he was like, unacceptable. We got to be
I was
better.
awful.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's like, I was
Yeah,
awful. It's like, Timmy, you were pretty good. But Jake Sanderson's built the same way. DJ says he doesn't drink. We know he's got his smoothies in the morning every day. He's in bed at
strict
9
sleep
p.m.
schedule. Yep.
This guy gets it, and he is going to be a leader for a long time for the Ottawa Senators. I'm talking a guy who you're going to look at when you play the Senators, and Meth always talks about this, how the opponent always looks at the game sheet, and he's going to be a guy that's circled twice and saying, how are we going to contain Jake Sanderson, and how are we going to be aware that he's on the ice to dump it in the other corner every time? Because he's a one-man breakout. This guy, how many times did he just get the puck in his own zone, shake, shimmy, and he's out of the zone? It's ridiculous. I don't want to throw any crazy comparables. We've done it in the past. Like, it's just he's going to become one of the league's best defensemen. I'm confident in saying that.
Yep, you won't see any pushback from me on that. And the thing too is, Ross, we talk about Thomas Chabot on the power play. Tom Chabot cannot do what Jake Sanderson does. Jake Sanderson enters the zone with so much more ease. He doesn't rely on that drop pass thing. God, I was getting sick of that drop pass from Chabot. And when he's in the offensive zone, he keeps it moving. He doesn't slow things down. He doesn't allow everyone to get back in position. He's keeping it moving, and he's able to get pucks on net to create chaos for guys like Brady in front. He's able to get tips and deflections. He's able to get better angles, paint the line with the puck, and get a better angle to either pass it off or get a shot or create open space for teammates on the other side. What he's been able to do on the power play, honestly, is what's impressed me most about Sanderson, because all we heard is, yeah, he's a great skater and he's going to be good defensively, but don't get excited about the offense. There's dry offense with Sanderson. Nope, wrong.
So wrong. And I think my favorite part, just to pick up on what you're talking about, the power play, he's always moving his shoulders. And that pivots his whole upper body and changes the angle. Like, he'll get the puck, he'll pull it one way and either snap it back or pivot with his feet and move it. Like the footwork and the shoulders and everything he's doing at the top of the umbrella. Like, get the Sharpie out again. This guy, PP1 quarterback to start next season. Like, you
Yep. Oh, yeah.
have great top 4 defensemen. We discussed Jacob Chikrin and Thomas Chabot. These guys have both been number 1 defensemen on power plays for years, but like, you can't take Jake Sanderson
Nope.
off it. He's too talented. And I mean, it's funny because when you look at it one way, you're like, this is insane that he's doing this. But you then look at it, it's like, okay, Chabot was 18th overall. Chikrin was 16th overall. They've also had 6 years to develop. Like, this is a top 5 draft pick. Like, you kind and we always heard about how great that draft was. First defenseman off the board. Like, the ceiling is extremely high on this kid. He might be one of those jerseys I think you're going to start seeing a lot of over the years here at the CTC.
And Ross, not only is the ceiling high, but the floor is high. This guy set his floor in the rookie season.
This guy's floor is like my office on the 30th floor.
Yeah,
30 stories up.
he's got a great view of Winnipeg from his floor.
Or Montana. I mean, geez, Whitefish. I've heard that's a beautiful town, by the way. It's like a southern neighborhood of Calgary, though. Apparently, it's like everyone from Calgary just goes down.
Oh, I
He's
believe
one
it.
of them. And
Yeah,
remember,
true.
Craig Button was telling Team Canada was so
Yeah.
upset. He could have played for Team Canada. He's got a Canadian passport, but again, it goes back to just the kind of guy he is. He's like, no, I grew up playing in Montana. I want to represent the States. He feels American. There you go. Have fun.
Yep.
Hey, if he didn't go to the USNTDP, would Ottawa have drafted him?
No chance.
No, but in all seriousness, like, you can't say enough. And we could probably go on another hour discussing Jake Sanderson and just the poise that he plays with. But instead, I'll just say that it has to be Artem Zub that he starts with. But if it's not Artem Zub, Pilsy, is there another defenseman that you think that he would benefit most from playing with? Because I think we should. I think people are going to either chirp or love this next statement. But I think we do have to give a little bit of credit to Travis Hamonic for being that presence. Because I think Jake Sanderson, if he was listening to this right now, he'd be like, guys, you have to mention Travis Hamonic and how he helped me, I'm sure off the ice as well, getting used to being an NHLer every day. But man, he didn't need him, I don't think, on the ice. But I'm sure that he appreciated having a veteran guy to look out for him for his rookie season.
Absolutely. I mean, Ross, the number 1 time on ice pair, and it's not even close, is Travis Hamonic and Jake Sanderson with 749 minutes played. The next closest is Shabbat and Zub with 468. So that was something that worked. Now you mentioned, would I like to see him play with someone else? Jacob Chikrin is an option. They played 27 minutes together, had decent numbers, 53.03 Corsi percentage, but I think Zub is the guy you start with at least.